Welcome back to Character Select, where we are still throwing ourselves... Well, I'm still throwing myself at this game.
It was also Val Kilmer, by the way.
It was Val Kilmer, okay. I was like,
glad we got that
definitely wasn't Michael Keaton.
I knew it was one of the people who played Batman, so it could only be one of, like, 3 people.
Well, 2, because George Clooney wasn't even a big actor at the time.
Well, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
It really doesn't.
It was actually a big movie.
Well, so was Star Wars.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And at the time, George Lucas cast Harrison Ford because he was completely unknown as an actor. Although I think he did. Didn't he do Indiana Jones first before he did Star Wars?
Nope.
Or was that after? That was after.
Star Wars came out in 1977. Indiana Jones came out in, I want to say, the early 80s? Ooh, speaking of controversial opinions, did you like, or even watch, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
I did watch that.
Did you like it?
I enjoyed it. I didn't like it, if that makes any sense.
You thought that you enjoyed it while you were watching it, but as soon as you turned around to think about it, you thought it was terrible.
No, it's more that, as a movie experience, I enjoyed watching it, but as an Indiana Jones movie, it was terrible.
Okay, see, that's an opinion that I can understand and respect. Now you're a fucking bottle of fucking magic. Because,
I mean, you know, it's a decent action movie. You know, it has all the elements of a good action movie, but they take the character of Indiana Jones and they do terrible things with him. They take not just the character of Indiana Jones, but the whole mythos of the character by throwing Shia LaBeouf in there.
See, I disagree. I think that what they did was they basically did for the 50s what they did for the 30s, where the 50s was Nazis and ancient relics and all that wonderful stuff.
No, I understand that. And the 50s was the communists.
Yeah, and
Russians. I understand that.
Aliens.
That is not what I'm talking about. I mean, I get, the whole aliens thing. But I mean, there's easily more religious things they could have done, or other artifacts other than aliens or something like that, So your opinion is that they should have done the movie with a different character, then?
Like not Indiana Jones, but a different like.
It's like if they did that same movie with Uncharted or something like that.
Oh man, don't even get me started on Uncharted. I love.
I'm just saying, if they had done that and made it not an Indiana Jones movie, but just another action movie, I probably would have respected it a bit more. But as an Indiana Jones movie, it just felt like they're just milking all they can out of the character itself. They're hoping the name itself will draw you to the movie rather than any merit of the film itself.
Which is valid. I get what you're saying, but... And I also think that Hollywood has been doing that with a lot of fucking intellectual properties.
They so have. How many reboots are there coming out here?
There's one for Batman Superman.
Well, that's not really a reboot. That is a reboot. Well, it is and it isn't. It's a movie in a different DC universe.
Sorry, I was concentrating on my jumping.
Yeah. But it's a movie in a different DC universe because Batman retires in the Christopher Nolan universe.
Yeah. Which is interesting because I never thought that that's where they would take that character.
And I really enjoyed how they did that, where they took that. I thought that was...
I think the movie itself was a hodgepodge of weird-ass themes, but...
It was kind of weird, but...
A mess?
It was a bit of a mess, but overall I enjoyed it. And I did like that they're not like old sitcoms or stuff like that, where at the end of the episode everything's alright and we can continue on to the next episode next time or whatever. But they basically made it impossible for the character to come back.
True. Which is a good thing, because the biggest problem I think with series these days, and this is me being a fucking old fogey and annoying asshole, is that...
a cake, damn it.
No, is that they create these long-running series without realizing that some things are better left with a good, solid end.
It's like they could have not done Resident Evil 6, and we would be better off for it.
Yeah, and I'm saying that as somebody who's actively playing through the game right now.
I watched a playthrough of it. It is a mess story-wise, in my opinion, anyway.
I don't disagree. I think I enjoy playing it because of the,
Oh boy, there's a bunch of sticks tied with string together.
What? Oh, it's a raft. Oh, this is also one of the few Zelda games that can actually become completely unwinnable. Oh, wait, no, it can. I'm sorry. That's a common misconception. Everybody thinks that if you finish the palace before you grab the item, then when you beat the boss, you put the gem in the statue and
you can't come back into the palace to
right,
get the
because
item.
It turns into rock. But if you haven't grabbed the item, it just doesn't turn into rock. It's called flags. Event flags. Look it up.
That's the easy way of programming games.
Actually, flags are pretty common in games.
You can't do a lot of things without them, so...
And I'm dead. And we're continuing again. Fucking hell. I hate you, Ganon. I hate you, Ganon's minions.
He hates you too, which is why he wants to come back to life and murder you.
Well, no, he wants to come back to life by murdering me.
Well, that is true. They need your blood to revive him from his ashes from the first game.
Yep.
What fun.
Thing is, now that I got all these shortcuts, I can't justify fast-forwarding.
You know the thing I love the most about old games?
What's that?
The manuals. Am I wrong?
No, you are absolutely right.
When I used to get a Super Nintendo game for like Christmas or my birthday, one of the first things I did was always open the box up, throw the game over on the couch or something, and read the manual. Because they had like this awesome art in there, and they would describe all the items and stuff in there, and I'm like, this is cool.
It made you excited to play the game.
It's like I have the one for Link to the Past. And that is like one of the most awesome manuals for a game I've ever read. And that sounds like really silly, but I mean it's just fun to read.
Yeah.
As opposed to like,
because
some technical manual for like a flight simulator or something.
Although those can be fun to read if you're into that.
But nowadays, if you look at if you get a 3DS game or something like that, the manual is about 3 pages.
Yeah, and it's like, please refer to our manual in the game, and it's like...
No, all that's in there is like safety information and like the warranty crap. It doesn't really tell you anything about the backstory for the world or anything like that.
They want you to do that in the game. They want you to find out. Which is great.
That.
I don't care. I want to read some of this shit.
That's why I enjoy old games, because they just have this level of artistry that, while we've replaced it with a different sort of artistry nowadays, it's just sort of absent,
I agree. I mean, I remember when I got Final Fantasy. No, I'm sorry. When I got Dragon Warrior 3 for the Nintendo.
Dragon Warrior.
Which, if you haven't played any of the Dragon Warrior games, play the first one.
I think I've played... Isn't Dragon Warrior the same thing as Dragon Quest?
Yes.
Okay, so I've played Dragon Warrior 7 for the PS1.
Which is an excellent game.
I've actually never finished that game.
Neither have I.
I put 120 hours into that game. I made it to the final boss. I couldn't beat him, and so I said, to hell with this game. and I moved on. I still have the save file on an old memory card. I never beat him.
Yeah, they're unforgiving. Like,
Then
they're
I played-
unforgiving in an era where they were designed to be unforgiving in an era where games were unforgiving.
Yeah. Then I played Dragon Warrior 8, or Dragon Quest 8, or whatever it is.
Which
That
is also an excellent game.
That is a fantastic game.
Also balls to the wall hard.
Yeah, it is, but it's like it's fun made up for the fact that it was difficult in places. But it wasn't. It was never, throw my remote at a wall hard.
No, because when you screwed up, you knew that you either had to level up or your strategy didn't work,
Or get better equipment or something.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah. But also, I really like, even though the secret ending in it was really cliche, I really liked it over the ending of the original campaign or whatever.
Yeah, because it felt more true. But
And
that's
felt
the thing.
more it just felt, better.
The Dragon Quest games have always been really cliche, and you know why? Because they did it first.
Exactly.
It's
They
more
were the
cliche
first,
if
they were
you do
first to the market. I think it's hilarious that in Japan they're not allowed to release Dragon Quest games on a school day or a work day.
there's laws against it.
There is a literal law that you cannot do that because it's so disruptive against schools and businesses. Because people would call out sick to go play them all day.
Uh-huh. Which, to be fair, we also have here.
Well,
I think I'm dead.
no.
Yeah, there I go. But, I just realized, should we put in, an epilepsy warning for these death scenes?
From now on, or retroactively?
Retroactively.
I don't know. Going forward from now, if you have epilepsy and you haven't
Jim, do me a favor. Go back in time to that first episode. Take a look at it. Recover from your epilepsy. And then put an epilepsy warning on it, please. And next time on Character Select, we'll go take Jim to the hospital.